What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So this video is literally only going to be about USC football recruiting. So I want to give a big update because something happened where they kind of gave a bunch of love to the 2026 class, but kind of want to go through that in depth towards the end of this video. But to start this one off, yes, there was a local St. John Bosco player, I believe he's a cornerback in the 2026 class, Joshua Holland, apparently just recently said that USC was his best visit and considers them in his top three. So that's pretty good, especially since USC was always kind of like a modern day type of school, which is the rival of Bosco. But now kind of seems like Bosco has been picking USC as of late, and hopefully a future guy in 2026, the like four-star defensive lineman, Dutch Horace, will pick USC in that class also. But maybe if they can pick up one of his other running mates, that could help them out as well. So looking forward to seeing if both these guys end up on USC's roster in the future. And when it came to a couple of different offers, they did offer a big time offensive lineman from right here in the LA area, Elijah Vicona, and I believe he is a he would be, if he does choose USC, a fourth generation type of USC Trojan, because I believe his grandfather, and I forget if his mother or someone else in his family, like every generation has gone to USC, so he would be the fourth. So hoping that that does end up happening, not only for his family, but for USC too, because this guy is very talented, local four-star offensive lineman, and he's a big dude too. He's already like 6'6", 6'7", like I said, that you're going after these humongous human beings already that big, just being juniors and heading into their senior season. So who knows how much bigger and stronger they can get. So yeah, that's a pretty nice offer that they had. That's why I just wanted to spotlight him solo. Then when it came to a 2026 five-star quarterback in Jared Curtis, yes, he is committed as of right now to Georgia, but for some reason he put up and USC offered him the other day, which is pretty interesting in my opinion, because it just seems like Lincoln Riley and USC is just going after a lot of the guys committed to Georgia, which is pretty funny. But I guess I kind of talked about this when it came to Ryder Lyons, to seeing if they would add another quarterback in that 2026 class, because when it comes to 2025 next year, it looks like Julian Lewis would be the quarterback. But in 2026, yes, Ryder Lyons would commit that year, but he would not come to USC until 2027 because of his mission he's going to do after school. So technically there's a stopgap year of not a quarterback, so might as well just try to go after a very talented five-star quarterback in that 2026 class too, because they won't be technically stepping on each other's toes when it comes to who can start and all that stuff. So yeah, I think this would be pretty big if USC can pull this off and try to get another Georgia commit to flip to USC. That would be pretty awesome. They even did that in the last transfer portal, flipping the quarterback Jaden Mayava from Georgia to USC too. So looking forward to seeing if that does end up happening. It could be fun. Then when it came to the four-star wide receiver CJ Wiley, yes, apparently he's going to be committing within the next couple of days, and he only looks like he has a top three, which does not include USC. And I know he recently had one of those big visits and said some nice things, but maybe he feels like some of the other guys that are right at the same level as him, the four-star, even higher, the five-star wide receivers, are going to be going to USC, and he did not want to compete with them, I guess. So he's choosing between three different schools. So good luck to him, but we want guys who are willing to compete no matter how many stars you have. As long as you're willing to show out your talent, then you'll be able to play in Lincoln Riley's system. So yeah, I'm hoping for some good news on the wide receiver commitments coming up soon in the near future. And as I mentioned, USC on their social media kind of gave a bunch of love to that 2026 class of recruits they are interested in, but I wanted to kind of spotlight some of the guys because some of them put up only graphics of them and like a cool logo of USC, but then a lot of them only put up another one that only had like the Coliseum and not their picture and stuff. So I'm kind of wondering if the one with their picture and the logo is maybe they're more of a higher priority for USC, because there's a lot of the talented guys and positions that they will need in the future. But even some guys got both pics and reposted them on social media. I forgot to write down who were those, but either way, I'll try to get down to the list as quickly as I can, because I'm already at almost 6 minutes on this video. So the guys that had the graphics with USC and their name on it had that defensive end we recently talked about, Dutch Horisk, a linebacker in Dallas Brannon, a defensive tackle in Cameron Brickle, defensive tackle in Kevin Ford Jr., a safety in Jazavian Currents, defensive back Samari Matthews, a running back in Carday Mack, a linebacker in Jamichael Garrett, a wide receiver in DeQuane Prevost, a safety in Tyreek Green, a defensive back in Corey Lavender, a running back in Rylan Morris, a defensive back in Brandon Arrington, a linebacker Xavier Griffin, defensive tackle Bot Mulitalo, defensive back in Tay Lockett, defensive end Sean Scott, running back in Sean Alston, defensive end Hezekiah Harris, offensive tackle Felix Ojo, defensive end Trenton Henderson, a linebacker CJ Sibley as well. So yeah, like I said, all those guys had the posts with their pictures, which is pretty cool. But like I also said too, maybe they're a little bit higher priority, because some of those names I did remember compared to some of the guys that are coming up. I did remember some of the other guys that they had recently offered from this class that I did talk about within the last couple months, but for some reason they did not put up that other post. So let's get those names talked about as of right now. It was also the defensive end Jaraylin McCoy, defensive back Kasani Giles, safety Nasir McCoy, defensive lineman Bryce Perry White, the USC commit, the cornerback in Madden Riordan, an offensive lineman Isun Tafa, linebacker Isaiah Tokyo, defensive back / athlete Nick Reddish, offensive tackle Adam Guthrie, edge Luke Waffle, offensive lineman Malik White, offensive lineman Ben Nichols, and of course the defensive end, a very tough name. I believe it's Lopeti Matai Tini Moala Jr. So yeah, I don't know why I put that last name. I saved it for last, but yeah, that was a pretty tough name to try to sound out. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying it correct, but when you take time with Samoan names, you can kind of figure it out looking at the past, especially when a lot of Samoan guys have gone to USC and are in the NFL too. But either way, yeah, a lot of these guys just had that Coliseum post and not like a graphic of themselves in their saying their position, all that stuff. But pretty sure if they got one of these things to post up on their social media, then they are going to be a high priority for USC in that 2026 class. So I like that they're already working towards the future and building it, and hopefully this will help them get these guys to commit a lot sooner. Like I said, that cornerback Madden Riordan is already still committed. I don't know if Brandon Lockhart is still committed to USC. He might be going somewhere else, another defensive back in that 2026 class. But either way, looking forward to seeing what happens with this class in the near future. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. If I don't.